When it comes to anime, Fullmetal Alchemist is GOATed. Number 1 highest rated ever. Number 3 most popular ever. When it comes to manga, Fullmetal Alchemist is also GOATed. Number 3 highest rated ever, number 11 most popular ever. But one thing most of the normal population isn't aware of, that the government tries to keep secret at all times, is the diversity of Fullmetal Alchemist as a franchise. Let's start from the beginning. Fullmetal Alchemist always has been a story about obsession to me. Whenever it is presented in a dark light through fascination of oneself to achieve something, or through the positive side, which is keeping one's at duty due to the genuine passion for it. It is fair to say that obsession has led through a lot of negative and positive things for humanity, so most people fall under extremes towards it. One of the first things that made me realize that Fullmetal Alchemist is truly special, it was towards the first 2 mini detours that Al and Ed go through. The first one being the Cornelio and the obsession of people towards religion and using such ideas as a means of escapism from the real struggles and the paths they never take. That, from the perspective of Christian holy people, they wouldn't be that impressed by the casual atheism propaganda that is being shown, but that's wrong. Fullmetal Alchemist isn't a story about the flaws of religion and the beauty of science. Not at all. The second detour is one of the most memorable ones, is the Nina and Tucker episodes, where we are shown the dark sides of using the obsession of science as a means of escapism from a casual life. Fullmetal Alchemist doesn't have a problem with either of ideas, but points out the huge flaws with the extremes of it. Remember, doesn't matter what you believe in, where you come from, what kind of perception your profession has, or anything really, it doesn't matter as long as you are a good person at heart. After all, Fullmetal Alchemist isn't just that. It is also a story about selfish redemption of mistakes, equivalent exchange, as well as corny as this sounds, it is a story about brotherhood. When you combine all these themes I just mentioned, we get a Fullmetal Alchemist. But that's not it either. Fullmetal Alchemist is a story about fatherhood, war, abuse, inequality, motherhood, humanity, faith, love, fear, regret, redemption, kingship, leadership, compassion, acceptance, improvement, failure, loyalty, and a lot more, which makes Fullmetal Alchemist worthy of the critical acclaim and the popularity that it has. But where does the diversity previously mentioned come in Fullmetal Alchemist? Obsession comes in many forms. But if there is one concept that humans can be obsessed over and over again, that to the idealistic and scientific philosophies strive for, is perfection. Perfection of oneself is the human idea that always seems so close yet impossible to achieve. The whole story of Fullmetal Alchemist is about a man or a woman being obsessed over the most diluted thing you can be obsessed over, perfection. And as ironic as it is, as someone who has viewed both versions of the series, the 2003 anime and the manga, I am one of the few people that considers them equal. But the irony comes from the fact that they both start to explore the flaws of obsession in their own respectful ways and end up exploring the flaws of perfection through completely different journeys. These explorations aren't vague at all. They are philosophical ideas that have been thought of and studied for centuries. The rejection of religion and the claim that all is one and one is all, thus God is us and us is God, are all ideas that true philosophy has talked about for years. And frankly, they are ideas that touch and connect with me personally. Same can go with the rejection of obsession and the multi-acceptance of ideologies, and not just accepting one as absolute, which have been concepts who have been previously discussed even in analysis videos about Fullmetal Alchemist alone. Which leads to the final boss, which leads to perfection. Philosopher's Stone is a real property, who in our boring real life is used to turning base metals such as mercury into gold, who has been thought to be discovered by a certain man known as Nicholas Flamel. You might have heard of him from fictional works such as Harry Potter or seen him in Fantastic Beast movies, but he is thought to be a man who achieved immortality through the Philosopher's Stone, which doesn't shy away from Fullmetal Alchemist story at all. Like I mentioned before, all of these are real philosophical ideas, and to us, the normal humans, the closest things to perfection would be immortality, right? This is where we go to the divide I've been hinting. This divide comes from the fact that both the manga and the 2003 anime go differently towards achieving that concept of rejecting perfection. The manga, and in addition Brotherhood, suggests that through rejecting one's obsessions and giving up something of equal worth, our protagonists can achieve their selfish goal of getting their bodies back and living a happy life as normal people. Meanwhile, in the 2003 anime, it is suggested that only through accepting that the rule of equivalent exchange isn't real and accepting the equality of nature, our protagonist can get to their goal. Maybe. One day. Both endings are great in their own ways. One more bittersweet than the other and leaves a lot more open to the interpretation. But it's a matter of opinion which road do you prefer to see or take to the same message of the series that delivers. Some might miss the main cast of characters, which all are great and add so much personality, that are replaced by new characters in addition to the 2003 anime, but I truly mean when I say that I found both equal to me. But what I truly believe is that they are both essential for the enjoyment experience of the franchise. My least favorite addition to Fullmetal Alchemist franchise also happens to be the most popular, and most likely the only one that most people watching this video have seen. Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. What I just said might have made some of you mad, but trust me when I say this, you shouldn't. Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood is truly great, and I mean this. It is a universal interpretation that stays pretty loyal to the manga of the most universal way of telling the Fullmetal Alchemist story for viewers. People who have never seen anime might like this, and people who have seen 1,000 anime before and are just watching it for the first time ever, sure, might not be in their top 5, but they will consider it to be a good anime for sure. It is something you can tune in to your 8-year-old drunk grandma and she might like it. The first episode aside, and the change of comedy from the manga, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood is pretty loyal. But not to go away from the point of the video, since no, this video is not about comparing the adaptations. It never was. Okay, this is my favorite part of the video, which I want to talk about the 3 properties of Fullmetal Alchemist and my favorite things about them. Let's start with the Fullmetal Alchemist manga, the original source. The Fullmetal Alchemist manga is the definitive experience of Fullmetal Alchemist for me. It has an edge to its character designs which makes them more familiar. I am pretty sure the thumbnail of this video has art from the manga. As it should. The characters feel more individual in the sense that from the comedy to the heartful hardcore moments that Fullmetal Alchemist is known for, it has a balance of equal treatment. They both add more to the characters and give the flair of connection to them. If you're a fan of the medium of manga, that you can binge manga very fast, checking out Fullmetal Alchemist manga even though you have seen the anime would be great, because in a way, despite me well knowing every event that happens in the story. Experiencing the manga is like experiencing them for the first time. I always liked Al, but the manga experience made me feel even more from him. And after watching the 2003 anime, right after reading the manga, Al is my favorite Fullmetal Alchemist character now, which might be rare. It's a great experience that every Fullmetal Alchemist fan should go through. No, remove that. That every anime fan should go through. After all, it's the definitive way of experiencing Fullmetal Alchemist. The 2003 anime is so much different. Like I mentioned before, it changes up a lot of the structure of the story, and in a way, it's more unapologetic with its build-up. Our main characters form real lasting bonds with each other. Main characters don't make all the way up, and even central story moments are replaced with different conclusions. That works because the build-up is also changed. It is more a together story, and it also is more realistic in the primary themes of war and inequality. It adds a lot, like that one episode with the Phantom Thief, which they got it straight up from Kaito Kid. But as good as the lesson that it tells you to never trust the ladies whose mysteries are foreshadowed in the end of the episode. Only us, the intellectual Fullmetal Alchemist viewers, know that lesson. As for Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, what is there really to say that hasn't been said already? It is extremely universal. It doesn't go dark for every part of the story. In fact, it's pretty clear that it's the adaptation that literally turns the brightness up. Like literally. But it gets dark when it needs to. And one thing that I will always appreciate about Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood is that most of the times, for the great iconic moments of the manga that are known to the franchise, and those also happen to be the moments that you always see posted on Twitter all the times, Fullmetal Alchemist does a great job handling. It prioritizes the quality of memorable individuality, and it holds it together really well as an adaptation. Like I mentioned before, I truly believe that viewing all three, the Fullmetal Alchemist manga, the Fullmetal Alchemist 2003 anime, and the Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood respectively, are essential for the Fullmetal Alchemist experience. Fullmetal Alchemist falls as one of the few pieces of media that are great and popular. At the top of popularity and greatness are just little titles not a lot of pieces of fiction per medium can achieve, and it's one that Fullmetal Alchemist definitely achieved for the medium of anime. But does that become a flaw to the experience of watching it? Is Fullmetal Alchemist overrated by default? The perfect example of suffering from success? If you think about it, being such highly rated means that every single score you can give Fullmetal Alchemist, other than the perfect 10 out of 10, means that you are scoring lower than the average of 1 million people. And that is crazy to think about. And honestly, I am glad it stays like this. Fullmetal Alchemist has a name in the community and the anime world which is unparalleled. Even if they are just memes or genuine great series at times, the community itself won't let Fullmetal Alchemist to be dethroned from its title. And to be truly honest with you, I don't see a single problem with that. Because if there was one series that I would wish to have dethroned, even though it's not my favorite, it would have to be Fullmetal Alchemist. But is it truly flawless to give such power to one series and hold it above not only its own peers, but hold it above its older brother and claim it the hold up of the perfection, the 10 out of 10? Sure, but remember this, it doesn't really matter, does it?
そんな目をするのはやめたまえ。
作戦は完璧でした。なのに私が間に合わなかったために。
完璧などありえない。この世界は不完全だ。だから美しい。